Welcome to our first video tutorial presentation, where you'll learn the basics of managing a successful team. In this video, we'll cover three main aspects of the game: player attributes, training settings, and formation and tactics settings. In order to set your strategy properly, you need to take a closer look at your players. Some of the most important stats you need to take into consideration are the player's age, value, skills, and condition. Keep in mind that players generally retire at age 34 and goalkeepers at 38. Players have the potential to increase their abilities in time. You can see their potential level in a 15 to 20 scale. When they reach full potential on a certain skill, their improvement rate will decrease for that respective skill only. Although a player may have decent attributes, he won't play at his best if his condition is poor. Condition determines how tired or fit your players are, so you need to make sure it never goes to low. If the condition hits below 60%, your player won't be able to play the next game and will need a day's rest. You must find a balance for each player between training sessions and matches, as these activities will decrease the player's condition level. Each player has three main attribute categories: defensive, offensive, and physical and mental stats, which refer to the player's agility, strength, fitness, speed, and creativity. Knowing what stats are important for each type of player is essential for any good manager. In order to make sure that your players play at their best, you will need to manage their training schedule. You can do that by accessing the training ground page. From here, you can manage your squad's progress and focus on each player's weak points, increasing their physical and playing attributes. There are two training methods to choose from: positioning focus, where players train up for a specific position you need, while also giving a chance to gain a skill point related to the position selected; and attribute focus, where players concentrate on a specific attribute to train and develop further. Both trainings can be active at the same time with a higher condition cost. There are two training types: automatic training, which is less demanding for you but also less productive for the squad, and custom training, which is more demanding but also more rewarding. Custom training allows you to select position focus, attribute focus, and intensity for each player individually. You'll be able to select the days that players train in a 2-week schedule. Automatic training only allows you to select position focus and intensity for each player. By default, their attribute focus training will be the primary attribute related to the position he's training for. In the performance column, you can see one of the following three messages after a training or rest session: no training, which means the respective player did not receive training; no progress, from meaning the player received training but did not increase his attributes or position; and new changes, meaning the players received training and increased their attributes or position. You can find out the suggested position your players should train for by viewing the general role in the role column. If a player has a general role of defender, then his starting skills are best for a defensive position. General role does not affect gameplay. In addition, for easy view, you can hover over the player name to view his main attributes. This will allow you to set up your training sessions faster and know what position each player should be trained for. After you set your training for each player, make sure to save it. Make sure not to overload your player's training schedule by setting a very high intensity to their training sessions for a long time. You need to keep a good balance between training, matches, and rest periods for each one of your players. Keep in mind that players whose condition is lower than 60% will not be able to train or participate in a match. The formation and tactics option allow you to configure the general strategy your squad will adopt in upcoming matches. The first thing you need to notice is that players need to play in the position they have high skills for. You might need to go back to your training schedule and revise the position of your players based on your tactics and formation. There are three possible saved formations at any given time, and each can be modified separately. Players are divided into three groups: starting 11, substitutes, and reserves. To place a player in the starting lineup, simply drag and drop to the shirt icon on the pitch. Another important aspect is the chemistry level of your squad. This information is displayed in the bottom right side of the field. Only the starting 11 players affect the chemistry level. Good chemistry will boost your squad's performances. In order to complete your formation, you will have to select a general strategy, playing style, and specific instructions in the tactics page. Optionally, you can manage predetermined set pieces and changes for your lineup, mainly substitutes and formation changes during a match, corner, penalty and free kick takers. After successfully saving a formation and tactic for a saved formation, it will now show up in the fixtures page as a possible selection for an upcoming match. Make sure that you select a lineup for a match in the fixtures page ahead of time, as they have to be locked in 5 hours before match time. To get better results for your club, you'll have to invest more time and enthusiasm into the game. For new club owners, it's highly recommended not to gain any expenses until you're comfortable with the game. There is no need to endure additional costs. When you start, you have all the necessary players and staff members to begin your career. So, do you have what it takes to be a successful manager?